When all of a sudden you experience the slowdown, don't get lazy about the experience that you provide to people when someone walks through and open for inspection. Now more than ever before, you've got to be critical about all of those touch points and how you actually get buyers to come and have a look at that particular property. We're a big fan of not referring buyers to open for inspections, but instead taking them to private appointments, particularly during the middle of the week, because naturally that's how we go to build great, strong relationships with the buyers, to really find out about other properties they're considering, where they're at in the purchasing cycle, and what we can do to drive that level of demand. But when it comes to show day on a Saturday, that show time is an incredible experience. And if we get it right, it changes everything. What we know what great agents do, they have a very high level of professionalism. Whether or not it's the pointer board or the flag, the conversation around the music, the scents that are going on inside of that particular property. Having that great person on the front door to be able to take the details, and then as an agent, really working the room. It's not about being in a position where you say, oh, thanks for coming, have a bit of a look, let me know what you think. It's having the proper conversation with those people here. We know that ultimately the owners are interested in potentially a longer settlement if you wish. We can do a shorter settlement if that's something that's more appropriate. If you're looking to buy today, are you in a position that you've got your finance organised? And if you didn't have your finance organised, are you in a position to commit to the property regardless? Those types of conversations with buyers change that level of feeling, that level of momentum around what's actually happening at that open home. And this is about making sure that if you have invited buyers, if you've invited neighbours, if you've invited past clients and landlords, make sure they all get an SMS on the Saturday morning to remind them to come and have a look at that particular property. One agent did something incredible with me. He said, hey Josh, do you want me just to send you a calendar invite to remind you about the open for inspection on Saturday? That little SMS that comes through on Saturday morning. When you're turning up, Josh, great to see you here this morning. Have a bit of a wander through. Let's have some discussions. See how close this one actually comes to suiting your requirements. What did you think? How close did it come? Have you seen this as well? Great cross-selling as a part of that entire experience. Our job is to make sure that we're seriously good at responding to all of the inquiry, whether or not that's an email, over the phone, what we're then doing to actually educate buyers and to communicate with them that properties are actually selling. Now, this is critically important because when a property actually does sell, you've got to make sure that you pick up the phone and you let every single buyer know. Those people that inquired, those people that physically inspected, this particular property sold for X. It gives them confidence about your quote versus the sale price. It gives them confidence that properties are still transacting. It gives them confidence that the market is actually still moving. And when you're in a position that ultimately the media is trying to erode all of that confidence, it's your job to actually build it with the buying and the selling pool. The skill, without a doubt, is to make sure that you've got that incredible experience. The SMS that goes out directly after the open for inspection. The ability for them to buy a pest inspection and building inspection, to download a copy of the contracts, to be in a position that they can request a market appraisal on their own. Our ability as agents to define that customer experience, to get clear about what it looks like, and to make sure that it doesn't slip, whether or not it's a busy open or a quiet open, is massively important in building the brand experience around what it is that you do that ultimately allows the consumer to make the decision to choose you to be their agent, to represent them in the sale of their property, or to be the agent that they choose to do a deal with because they believe that there is a level of trust and transparency in everything that you do. Think about the experience. Let's get back to basics and let's do them seriously well.